Hello, Faelan Shiva here with stars and cards for the Everyday Priestess channel. We have two really big things happening in this 2-week period. Today is March 28th, 2025. Tomorrow, in the early hours of the morning, on March 29th at 3:57 a.m., we have the Aries new moon solar eclipse. So that's a lot of really brand new energy coming for us. Then the next day, it's very early in the morning on March 30, 4:57 a.m., we have Neptune moving into Aries. Neptune only, it takes him like 165 years to orbit the whole zodiac. So it's been over 160 years since he's been at 0 degrees Aries. So this is even a much bigger deal than our eclipse. So let's talk about the eclipse first. I've been talking about this a lot on my socials with my new moon tarot spread and also in my write-ups, in my Thursday Reels oracles. All of these are things you can find on my Facebook or my Instagram at Faelan Shiva at Gmail. No, just Faelan Shiva. And so there's this huge energy ebbing and flowing in and out over the Pisces and Aries cusp. It's a lot of planetary energy. And with Venus and Mercury, Venus and Mercury retrograde, they've passed back into Pisces and now they're going to pass back into Aries. So there's just been this dance back and forth of this cusp. And what is this cusp? It's a birth canal. The Pisces is like the womb of the cosmos. It's like the cocoon of the metamorphosis of new life into a butterfly, right? So there's this kind of container, this watery container of just letting go of everything that doesn't serve you anymore, and then getting ready to be born into something new, but you don't know what it is yet. You don't know what it is yet. And then with Aries, it is birthed. It comes forward like a sprout out of the ground or a baby out of a mom. Like it's, okay, here we are, we're doing it. So there's been so much energy about this threshold. It's a threshold. And then we have Neptune hitting 0 Aries. Then we have Saturn hitting 0 Aries, which takes about 28 years to go all the way around back to 0 Aries. So there's a lot of shifts happening. So with the solar eclipse, this is always on a new moon. And so it's about new opportunities. It's about doors opening. It's in Aries, so it's quick. It's brave. It's act first, think later. It's do the thing, apologize later if you have to. And it's very bold. It's very bold. So I really encourage you to listen to that Pisces intuition. Listen to the whisper on the wind, or that feeling in your gut, or that dream in your imagination, or that magnet in your heart, whatever that is for you. Listen to what it is and keep your eye, your inner eye, on the vision of where you want to go. And as we spring forward into this new reality, make bold choices. Claim things. Claim things. Claim it. Be a leader. As in, not like, well, I want to do this thing, but no buts. Go do the thing. Okay, so that's one big subject. The next big subject, Neptune moving into Aries. Now, if you listen to a lot of classical astrology that doesn't really have nuance, or you listen to some pop astrologer that kind of has a doomsday vibe. They'll be like, oh, spiritual warfare and religious wars. Absolutely possible. Wouldn't even really be that surprising considering the state of affairs we're in. But that's not all it is. It is also claiming our spiritual warriorship, claiming our spiritual activism. It is very much about claiming our power. And I'm using this word claim a lot because that's Aries. It takes. It takes. It claims. It conquers. And sometimes that's not cool. But in this context, it's very cool. Claiming your power is very cool, okay? Claim your power, not using your power over others. Conquer your inner fears, not conquering the lands that don't belong to you. Do you see what I mean? Nuance, but also obvious if you're a good person. So there's this fresh perspective. We can consider Neptune very much like the spiritual questor. Okay, so he governs our spirituality. He, she, they, however you want to experience that. So if you think of the hermit in tarot, we think of this wise, old, usually man, but it doesn't have to be a man, who has studied and experienced and gained wisdom and now spends a lot of time on his own. This is also the same as Merlin in the Western British tradition. But that old wise sage, where Neptune has been for a very long time in Sagittarius, Aquarius, Capricorn, Pisces, is now being reborn into the Fool of the tarot, the bright youth. Okay, so we get a restart. We get a restart. And I'm going to be offering a class, I'll plug it here real quick, that is inspired by Neptune and Aries, which is developing our magic through power symbols. So if you want more information about that, just let me know. But the idea is Neptune also governs art, poetry, film, spirituality, meditation, inspiration, like the inspiration of muses, right? So we can also use art to harness our magical power. So I'm very excited about this. It is a little scary. For me, anytime anything hits Aries, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But, you know, it's also exciting. So we need to choose how we're going to deal with this. And I'm choosing to claim my power to develop my artistic powers, to develop my power through art and through meditation, which I always do, and to bring as many people with me as I can. I want you also to claim your power and stand in it. Let that be a force for good on this planet, which we need so much of right now. Okay, those two are really big deals. This is a 2-week forecast. The next major thing that happens, Mercury turns direct on April 7th at 26 degrees Pisces. So yay for that. I know everybody feels a huge sigh of relief when Mercury turns direct. And then our next full moon in about 2 weeks is April 12th. So I'll give you a fresh video for then and the other exciting mid-April things that are happening. So I am Faelan Shiva. My website is roseofvenus.com. You can go there and book your tarot readings, your astrology readings. Speaking of which, we haven't pulled a card for today. So stars and cards, right? So we'll pull one card, considering these huge shifts that are happening really in the next couple of days. but for our 2-week period that this video covers. What is one card that wants to be heard specifically about the solar eclipse, new moon in Aries, and Neptune entering Aries? Let's find out. I have 2 cards. Interesting. The 2 cards in my hand are not very fiery cards. We have a water and an earth card. We have the 5 of Cups, which is a double Mars card. And it is very much about the appropriate timing of grief. Acknowledge that there is suffering. In the Deacon system, it's Mars and Scorpio. And in the Tree of Life, it's Mars in the water element. So same. They're not always the same, those 2. Who is the ruler of Aries? Mars. So, which is interesting because Neptune is such a watery planet hitting Aries ruled by Mars. So I really feel like there's an invitation here to keep in touch with your emotions as we move into all this fiery energy. And then we also have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a very Virgo character. He puts one foot in front of the other and he does what he needs to do. He's very good at planning. He's very loyal. Sometimes he's boring. But mostly he's reliable. So these are not 2 cards I would expect to get for all this fiery energy that's about to occur. So I think this is about regulating our nervous systems while we are in the throes of this rebirth period that's occurring. And I think it's important that we acknowledge our feelings deeply, and also do the daily activities that we need to stay as regulated as possible. It is going to be an exciting time. There's no way getting out of that, but exciting is not always good. Sometimes things are very exciting and they suck, like when a storm took my house 2 years ago, right? It was exciting, but I didn't like it. So stay in touch with your emotions, regulate your nervous systems, keep up with your daily tasks as much as possible, but that does not negate the other message here about really claiming your power, stepping into this bold new future. So there's a lot to balance. But I believe in you. And if you need support, book a reading. I'm happy to help you. Okay, roseofvenus.com, and happy new moon eclipse.